So very good morning and welcome to the 30th Foundation Day celebration of the Indian National Academy of Engineering. You are all aware that INAE was registered as a society on 20th April 1987. So this also happens to be, though it is 22nd today, we decided for some specific reasons to celebrate on Monday and not on a Saturday. So we are celebrating our 37th birthday, 38th birthday or celebration of the Foundation Day. It gives me a privilege to address the former presidents. We are very fortunate to have three of the former presidents sitting right in this table, Dr. Kakodkar, Dr. Suresh, and Dr. Mesra. So all the former presidents, the fellows of the Academy, the awardees, the young associates of INAE. I would also like to address the newly introduced members to the Academy, just a few of them at the moment, institutional member and corporate members. And we soon will have even individual members. INAE round the year does a number of events, some of which are basically annual events. We begin with our Foundation Day function, and in addition, we do the National Frontiers of Engineering. In 2023, the National Frontiers of Engineering was held at the Birla Institute of Technology, Mesra, Ranchi on June 24th, 25th. We also alongside organized a national competition on innovations in manufacturing practices on June 26th. This event was partially supported by ACRB's initiative on Atmanirbhar technologies. The 10th Engineers Conclave was organized on October 5th to 7th at the Raja Ramana Center for Advanced Technologies, RRCAT, Indore. As per our tradition, we addressed two specific themes. One of them was proposed by the host academy, host institute, laser technologies for emerging engineering challenges. And the other one chosen by INAE was on engineering and technology for clean and green India 2047. The next big event was INAE's Youth Conclave 2023 under the aegis of the ACRB INAE Innovation Hackathon, was held at Geetam University, Visakhapatnam during November 3rd and 4th, 2023. Titled Innovation and Technology for Global Challenges, and we addressed very many issues related to healthcare, space and robotics, green energy storage, and so forth. The most important event, which is typically for any academy, certainly the most important event that everyone looks forward to, was the annual convention. In 2023, this was held in Bhubaneswar at the Shiksha Anusandhan University. Mr. T.V. Narendran, CMD Tata Steel, was the chief guest. And in this event, we also had a guest of honor. Professor G.D. Yadav spoke on green hydrogen. Mr. Narendran spoke on the role of steel industry in the economic development of the nation. We were also very fortunate to have an address, special address by Sri S. Somanath, the Secretary, Department of Space, who spoke on Chandrayaan-3, the mission and its accomplishments. And needless to mention that the crowd was thrilled to hear directly from the captain of this big mission. He has landmark success on soft landing on the southern hemisphere of Moon. We discussed specific technological issues like artificial intelligence in Industry 4.0 and its sustainability. Another very important facet was added in this convention, and now this will be our annual feature. All sections were asked to come up with very specific technological recommendations on some very chosen theme. And all the sections presented under a special event created under Technology Gap Forecasting and Roadmap. These were the four major annual events of the Academy other than the Foundation Day function. We are all aware that INAE, at the behest of DST, created a special fellowship called Abdul Kalam Technology Innovation Fellowship, National Fellowship. This, at the moment, we have 57 professionals who were given this honor. And this is a fellowship which is equivalent to the famous J.C. Bose Fellowship, but with a difference that here the entire exercise is for a very specific project leading to at least, if not a complete technology, but at least a prototype development. So it's evaluated at the third year, depending on the progress. The fellowship is allowed to continue for 2 more years, but it's a one-time 5-year fellowship equivalent to the topmost fellowship awarded in the country. 57 professionals have been awarded so far this kind of fellowship, and 45 are on the roll at the moment. INE local chapters also, to our great satisfaction, have become fairly active. We have about a dozen chapters throughout the country, and we wish to have many more. So the Bangalore chapter organizes the special lecture series every year dedicated to the memory of Professor Rodam Narasimha. So Rodam Narasimha Memorial Lecture on a very interesting topic was delivered by Professor Sanjay Mittal of IIT Kanpur. And the title of his talk was Swing, Reverse Swing, and Knuckleball, Transition of Boundary Layer. So CFD analysis of the delivery that a bowler makes on the cricket field and the entire science behind that. That was on July 20, 2023. Calcutta chapter organized National Engineers Day on 15th September. SIVAJI Chakravorti, Vice President, spoke on evolution of the frequency at which we get the electrical power supply. Delhi chapter organized innovative pathways for hydrogen development. Bhubaneswar chapter organizes routinely very eminent lectures throughout the year. The National Technology Day was celebrated on 11th May 2023 when our eminent fellow Mr. Kotwal spoke on technology, a prime mover for growth. National Engineers Day on 15th September 2023, INE organized a very special panel discussion on a topic which actually affects not just the citizens of this country, but the world over. The topic was cybersecurity and cyber physical systems. And we had a very eminent panel comprising Dr. Ajay Kumar, former Secretary, Government of India, Mr. K. Anant Krishnan, PCS, Professor Maninder Agarwal from IIT Kanpur, and Professor V. Rajalakshmi from IIT Hyderabad, and Professor Anurag Kumar, former Director, IISc Bangalore, steered the entire panel discussion. We are very fortunate to have been asked by ACRP to run several programs on behalf of them. And there are 4 specific themes. ACRP actually funds about 75 lakhs a year to run programs on Atmanirbhar technologies, Women Engineers program, outreach program for the Northeast, including Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, and so on, and innovation hackathon. These 4 specific programs. And I think Professor SIVAJI Chakravorti will mention about what we are doing for the Northeast and Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir. Similarly, all others like the initiative on Women Engineers program or Atmanirbhar technologies, everything is very much happening as per the desire or design of ACRP. You are probably aware that the Government of India actually entrusted DST, and in turn it was given to INE to run the government's initiative on online and digital gaming research initiative. So this was initiated about a little over a year ago, and recently a workshop was held on March 12th, 2024 to monitor and review what has happened so far. Already the first round of call was issued, projects selected, even funds already released. So it's just about a few months, not even a year. We hope to see interesting outcome coming from these initiatives soon. The 6th INAE NAEK, the Korean Academy of Engineering, a workshop on perspectives of space development, was held on August 29th and 30th, 2023. INAE is extremely happy and grateful to the Korean Academy because this is the 6th edition. Every year, this is one foreign academy which has been one of the most active ones to collaborate with INAE. And every year we choose a theme, and post-pandemic, we are organizing events in a virtual platform, but in a hybrid manner. The experts assemble at 2 different centers in India and Korea, and then they deliberate. INAE is an active member of the Council of Academies of Engineering and Technological Sciences, almost since the beginning, almost. The recent meeting, the annual meeting, was held in Zagreb on October 9th to 11th, 2023. And the main theme was e-mobility solution and opportunity, electric vehicle mobility solution and opportunities. INAE had sent a delegation, and we participated in most of the panels and so on. INAE also is a very active, and incidentally is the chair of the engineering working group created on engineering education, along with US as the co-chair. And there are 22 countries who are members in this working group trying to discuss and evolve policies on global framework for engineering education. The first year is going to be over soon, and in the next July meeting, we are going to present the roundup of the first years of activity. INAE is also an active member of the CATES Communication Committee. Amit Agarwal represents INAE in that particular committee. Earlier on, INAE has also been a very active member of the energy panel, and INAE's contribution was very well appreciated in the CATES Energy Report 2022. INAE premise, which exists in Gurgaon, has been let out to IIT Jodhpur to create INAE Jodhpur Joint Activity Center. And this was actually formalized on November 14, 2023. We can also offer similar privileges to other institutions if they want to use partial facilities of the INAE infrastructure. We organized 2 brainstorming meetings with the chapters. We went to all over the places. We went to Bangalore, to Bombay, to Delhi, Calcutta, and several other places to evolve INAE in its new self-reliant format, not only functionally autonomous, but also financially autonomous. So one such meeting was held on 5th August 2023 in physical mode. We discussed INAE's mission, vision, and objectives and its future readiness, and then subsequently had another meeting on roadmap for financial and functional autonomy. The last one was held on 7th of December 2023 in the office of the Google India. Earlier on, we had similar meetings at IIT Mumbai, IIT Delhi, and a few other places. I must also mention here that INAE involves itself in several future technology roadmap development. One such event worth mentioning here is our involvement with the Royal Academy of Engineering UK in conducting a seminar on green hydrogen, INAE RAE joint mission that was held in CSIR NCL Pune on 31st January to 2nd of February. Dr. Ashish Lele, our eminent fellow and director of NCL Pune, was the chair of that. And we, of course, value the importance of science as the foundation of all engineering and technological innovations. So we do observe National Science Day. And this year, 28th February 2024, Professor Uday Desai, Vice President, delivered a very informative lecture on innovations, entrepreneurship, and creating an ecosystem on 28th February 2024. I'll just take a couple of minutes more to highlight 3 or 4 very important points. I would like to again renew our appeal to the engineering section, all the members and conveners, that the engineering section, other than, of course, the very important job of electing fellows, should spend a lot of time in creating technology roadmap, scouting eminent and very deserving candidates for election to the fellowship, emphasize on the industry connect, may take up projects on book and monograph writing, and organize once in a while some special meetings to develop technology roadmap or give us some assessments and so on. So this is very important, and the engineering section should really act as the representative body of that particular section, which is not just engineering subject specific, but also with the allied areas. The second appeal is to the chapters. We need to reach out, and we cannot reach out to the rank and file of the engineering community unless the chapters take it upon themselves. So please hold your annual meeting, hold annual general meeting, revise the committee every year, bring in new leadership, submit your report alongside the financial statements wherever possible, wherever applicable, and also scout and nominate eminent engineers and technologists for fellowship, for membership, and so on. I would also, in the equal vein, appeal to the fellowship that we need to spread the awareness about INAE and its activities, emphasize the need for industry connect, and please offer your services to INAE, because INAE is only as good as you are willing to offer your services to INAE. And that we have created a new cadre called membership. This needs to be popularized. Not many actually are quite aware of it. So every fellow, if you identify 10 and nominate them for membership, I'm sure you'll make sure that they fulfill all the criteria. So we have about 1,000 membership on our roll, and we can easily have 10,000 good nominations coming for considerations for selection as members. And please remember, members can be corporate, member can be an organization as an academic institution, R&D institution, and finally, we can also have members who are individuals. The last thing that I want to mention today is that INAE, if it really claims to have the best of the professionals from engineering technology on its role, we are not quite bringing them forth. We are not quite harnessing the strength that lies in the rank and file of the fellowship. So please look at the mail that goes to you to update your expert pool profile of under the INAE website. So individuals as expert has to be willing and offering their expertise for solving the engineering issues. We also have now decided that soon we'll also, apart from having the expert pool, we'll also create expert group. For example, whatever challenges exist nationally or internationally on issues like water, energy, environment, transportation, habitat, all such engineering issues will require a team effort. So from the expert pool, we'll also create expert groups, and they should move forward. The final word is that please, all of us should remember that we are Indian National Academy of Engineering. We are devoted to the cause of engineering. We are not a club of engineers. So this is where we have to make a difference to the profession and to the nation. So I wish you all a very fruitful and a very successful year ahead, and let's all combine together and make the future of INAE brighter. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Request B.N. Suresh to kindly express his views on INAE way forward.
Very outset, let me convey my view. 38th INAE Foundation Day. I think all of us know that in the last 38 years, we have progressed forward. Size and statures have increased. Of course, you heard just by President, the spectrum of scientific, engineering, and technological programs that are being conducted year after year, which are all relevant the national progress and national context. And this has been being conducted all through the year. One important thing I think which all of you have noticed is in all such programs, our aim is not just to conduct the program, but then come out with the very specific actionable recommendations. This practice we have been following up, not only come out with the recommendations, but then take it forward by following it up subsequently with the various organizations which are helping us to conduct the programs. Then of course, another objective is really to influence on policy matters, to sort of give our inputs wherever essential, because we are the biggest engineering forum, and who is part of our fellows in the academy. And in the last few years, we have sort of established number of committees and consultative committees with several government departments, with a wide spectrum of departments all over the country. And we keep meeting very often, and then we are able to provide the inputs on important policy matters. And of course, that component is being increased year after year. Hopefully, in the coming years, we will certainly play a role. While we have been making substantial progress in the scientific, technical, and engineering arena, I think all of you are aware that we have been given a mandate to be standing on our own leg on financially too. I must say that in this today's Foundation Day, I must compliment the President, Vice Presidents, and all other functionaries of INAE. They have left no stone unturned in the last 2 years. And in fact, they have made tremendous progress in reaching and making substantial progress in the financial arena too. And I'm very confident, possibly when we meet next time for the 39th INAE Foundation Day, most probably we'll be standing on our own leg. This has been our design even otherwise, other than mandate. Following up all the GFR and all that time to time, we as an independent body wanted to be totally standing on our own legs, so that gives the freedom for us to really give the proper advice to the various government departments as well as promote the engineering. And it's good that this mandate has come and we are moving in that direction. And also we, in fact, have a lot of inputs on carrying out various activities which are relevant for the development of the nation. I think now is the time when the country is talking towards Viksit Bharat, the INAE has a very major role to play, and I'm sure that with the kind of advantages, the kind of expertise that they have, they should be able to meet the demands of the country and demands of the nation. With these few words, let me convey my greetings once again to each one of you, and looking forward your active cooperation and support in all our endeavors. Thank you.
Grateful to you, sir. I will now request Dr. Sanak Mishra, former president, to kindly say a few words.
Yeah, first of all, Founders' Day greetings to the entire fellowship. It's a nice thing to celebrate ourselves. So the Founders' Day celebration is like a corporate celebration that they do in the corporate world. We celebrate this day to remind ourselves of the spirit and the ethos of our great organization. All of you are aware that last 2 years, we have been put under a tremendous pressure of sorts because of the financial constraints that have arisen. But I think it's a matter of great pride for all of us that the leadership team here, the president, the vice presidents, and others, they have given a kind of leadership to make this transition from depending on the government funding to depending on other sources of funding, a very strong footing. So as far as I can see, in the last 2 years or 3 years, we have expanded. During this transition, we have also expanded our activities as outlined by the president. And also we have gone out to create a larger outreach in the engineering community, both academic institutions, research institutions, industry, academia. And I think that outreach will make us stronger, will make us better known in society as a whole, not just in the engineering community. It is a very positive development. So crisis always brings forth, the inner strengths it brings forth the inner strength. And I think there's a classic example that INAE is now demonstrating so clearly its inherent strength, its intellectual capacity, its organizational ability. I think it's very heartening to see that. And I think a great future lies in store for INAE. And I think, the world is undergoing a transition itself. I mean, the evolution is taking place at a very rapid pace, like the advent of AI, artificial intelligence. On one side of the coin, the other side of the coin, I would talk about the economy is moving to an energy economy, from fossil economy to maybe green hydrogen or whatever. These are great opportunities for the engineering community to work with the policymakers and contribute to public policy, not just science policy, but public policy, science and technology policy or engineering policy, but public policy. And I think that's where the proof of the pudding is, that we engineers must contribute to society as a whole. And I have full confidence that the intellectual capacity available with INE fellows would go a long way helping our nation to move towards a higher quality of life, quality of health, well-being. So thank you all for all your support. I wish you all the best.
Grateful to you, sir. I will now request Professor Desai, Vice President INAE, kindly say a few words.
Good morning, everyone, and my very warm greetings on the 38th INAE Foundation Day to all of you. I've been tasked to talk about the future directions of INAE. This is a very important and also a very complicated topic. First and foremost, the future directions will have to be developed by INAE fellows, INAE young associates, various members that we are now starting, institutional, corporate, and individual. And it has to be a collective effort by which this blueprint will be developed. What I'm sharing today are my thoughts, that's all, and I think these will have to be debated, discussed before we actually develop a good blueprint for future directions. As the presidents, the past presidents also mentioned, INAE is going through a lot of changes. The first thing is, I think we want to engage with a much larger section of the society than we have done in the past years. I think this is one key thing and one key transformational change that is occurring in INAE over the last year. And I think more of such things will happen. Second part is that INAE now wants to play an impacting role. It is not simply that, we will produce documents, we'll have workshops, we have conferences. But this have to be thought out as to how we will play an impacting role. And impacting role, particularly in the technology growth of India and making India a developed nation. I think today we know that no society can move forward without technology. And I think INAE can play a very big role in making India a developed nation. The second thought I have is that INAE has been doing some of it, but we need to do a lot more, is that INAE should become a think tank, in particular, a technological think tank. We are an engineering society, so our focus should be on technologies and engineering. Okay. And it is imperative, that periodically we come up with some forecast, we define what kind of technologies are going to impact society at large, India in particular, over the horizon of 20 to 50 years. We need to become thought leaders. And one way to become thought leaders is to venture and forecast what is going to happen. Of course, we will be wrong in many instances, but as long as we are right in a few instances, I think it will be very important and it will be a big success. The third thing which I'd like to kind of emphasize is internationalization. The president did mention about CAETs and our collaboration with them. I think we need to do a lot more. We live in a global world. We are all interconnected. Today, all of us interact with, at least in a day, almost all of us have some interactions with people living outside India. And I think INAE also has to look at it in a larger sense as to how we collaborate with outside world and how we create an impact which also has an international effect. Okay. So since time is short, I've gone through it very hurriedly. I'll stop at this particular point. Okay. I look forward to active support from INAE fellows, young associates, and various members, institutional, corporate, individual, to help come forward and make some of these ideas a reality. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir. Will now request Mr. J.D. Patil kindly share his views on today's auspicious day. Mr. Patil, sir.
I think we are at the historic point in time in the history of INAE. If we look at 1987, when the INAE was founded, there was hardly anything called corporates and industry. It was an entire sector controlled by government. And I think those days it made sense that for INAE's creation, the government funded without a cabinet approval. Today, we are in a situation where the government actually has a cabinet decision not to support us. And I think, ironically, this is a time frame precisely about 35 years in which the industry and the corporates have dramatically grown. And this is essentially where we know from the industries of 1990s to industries of 2020s, we are on the cutting edge on many aspects. And there are some sectors in which we lead the globe. I think that's a zone wherein, as INAE, we dramatically can sort of benefit by taking some of the thinkers and some of those great minds out of the corporates and industry. I think this is exactly where, as the past presidents have spoken, we can harness the best out of the industry. Of course, as INAE, we are an elite body, and there will be a kind of a proper selection program that will put those applications through. So I've been seeing some of those concerns in the fellowship, that does it actually reduce the kind of eliteness of the body? My assurance to any of those voices within the fellowship is the fellowship program remains, and that's essentially for an absolute elite of the elite. But there's also the body and the mass, and also a matter of survival and growing, because what the government used to fund, if today we have to truly grow, we need to grow much more than what we were in the past, and that's where the financial autonomy becomes an absolute necessity. Just to ballpark calculation that I had done, with 1,000 fellows, each one of us would have to put in 50,000 rupees to survive exactly the way we've been in the past. Typically 5 crores, 1,000 people, 50,000 per year. Now, the moment we have people who essentially have been pursuing technology and engineering come on board, this is essentially where we can then think of, without any constraints in terms of what INAE should be doing, what the nation should be doing, and what we as a society contribute to the world while we move to become the third largest economy virtually in 2 years. By the time we are going to be 40 as INAE, we would have become that third largest economy. And at that point in time, we can't be followers, but we need to be leaders across in multiple domains. I think on that point, I would like to stop. Hearty congratulations to all the fellow members of INAE on the 38th, call it the foundation day or the birthday. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Professor SIVAJI Chakravorti, Vice President, to his views.
So, warm greetings to the entire fellowship and the young associates on the 38th Foundation Day of INAE. Now, since we have already heard from all the past presidents present here, as well as the vice president, so I will be very brief. So I would like to mention here that INAE stands for Empowering Excellence in Engineering and Technology, and we remain committed to that. While remaining committed to that, we are also expanding our outreach efforts, as you have heard from the president. Just to mention a few what we have done in the year 2023 and also the first quarter of 2024. We have organized programs at various places. For example, in the Northeast, we have organized programs at NIT Silchar, then at IIT Guwahati. Then we organized program in Ladakh that was held in University Ladakh. We also held organized programs at NIT Srinagar. And there were programs which were targeted to women, and we organized such program at Tejpur University and also at IIT BHU. So that you can clearly see that these outreach efforts are being continuously expanded, and I remain on behalf of INAE committed to expand this further. But to do that, as you have already heard, that INAE has to be now financially autonomous, and President has already mentioned that we are adding a membership tier in our INAE entire structure. Now let me just say a few words on that. Adding a membership tier alongside fellowship allows for a broader range of engagement and support for individuals at different stages of their careers or with varying levels of involvement. Now, let me elaborate a little bit. We have two categories. One is associate member, who could be working professionals in engineering within 5 years from acquiring first degree in engineering. That first degree could be anything starting from graduation to post-graduation as well as doctoral. And the senior membership, that is working professionals in engineering with 10 years experience after acquiring first degree in engineering. Now, this membership, of course, would cater to a wider audience, including early career professionals, along with senior professionals. This membership would provide additional financial support for the academy, which can be used to enhance existing programs as well as expanding outreach efforts. This membership can offer networking opportunities tailored to the needs of members, fostering a sense of community and collaboration among individuals with shared interests. This membership would include access to various resources designed by INAE to support members in their professional development. This membership tier can help the academy engage, as I said, with broader audience and raise awareness about the advancements in engineering and technology, potentially leading to increased public support and advocacy. However, INAE knows that it is essential to ensure that the membership tier complements rather than detracts from the value proposition of fellowship. Careful considerations have been given to the benefits offered at each membership level to ensure that they align with the needs and expectations of members and that the integrity and prestige of fellowship status are maintained. So we remain committed again to empowering excellence in engineering community, and we are confident that INAE in the 2024-25 is or will move or will get much more stronger. With this confidence, I conclude today, and once again, warm greetings to the entire fellowship and young associates. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Chakravorty sir. Yes, I'm privileged to invite Dr. Kakodkar, our chief guest for the day, Chancellor, HBNI Mumbai, former President INAE, former Chairman of Atomic Energy, Secretary to Government, to kindly enlighten us on this auspicious day. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Well, first of all, let me express happiness on being able to be a part of this 38th INAE Foundation Day function and use this occasion to extend my greetings to the entire fellowship of INAE. INAE has today emerged as a very strong academy, important academy, engineering, that is already contributing significantly at the national level. Let me use this occasion to express some thoughts on what further, what kind of goals we could visualize for. To me, I think the most important function that we all have been aiming at as an academy is to ensure that we sustain a very vibrant peer community for to ensure that any society or any nation is on the right track, and to ensure that all guidance and all support is available to maintain itself on that right track. I think existence of a strong peer community, not constrained by any other interests, is an important thing. When you're talking about rapid development of a country, engineering is an important profession. The peer community in engineering is very crucial. So I think to me, that is the most fundamental role that we have, and we should look at how to be more and more effective in discharging that role. The second point that I wish to make is with respect to recognizing the frontiers. And INAE has been bringing out several technology-related reports which kind of opens up the entire domain of a new emerging technology area. And I think this is a very fast-changing scene. Technology world is moving very rapidly. And so this domain or this activity that INAE has been doing it effectively all along would need to be continuously accelerated. The third part is an ecosystem. I think we have a strong community. Indians have excelled everywhere in all domains. Engineering is no exception. But what we need is an ecosystem where people from, what shall I say, diverse complementary capabilities, complementary sites can come together, remain together, pick up new thoughts and push them towards a direction that would benefit the country. That requires this interacting, inter-engaging environment, particularly in the context of the youth of the country, where we encourage youth to do new things, which are anyway happening. The rapid growth of startups in the country is an indicator of that fact. But then I think this whole thing can be catalyzed much faster and a much bigger way and much more effective way if we encourage or if we nurture our ecosystem to be even better than what it is now. Finally, I want to talk about some of the disturbing scenarios. One is, of course, we all know the world is very rapidly moving towards tipping points of different kinds. Climate change is one, the pandemic that we have gone through could be another, but there could be more pandemics in future. We need to understand the dynamics of why we are closer to a tipping point or why we move closer to a tipping point, and what is it that we need to do to sort of keep the tipping point as far away as possible. So it's essentially a stability issue, stability of the societies, stabilities of the Mother Earth as a whole. And I think engineers can do a lot in terms of ensuring that stability. Now, this is a discussion globally, so it's not as if, there could be always an issue. What is it that we need to talk specifically? But the important thing is there is a developed world, there is a developing world. And this rapid approaches towards stable situations affect the two in a very drastically different ways. We being, of course, the largest country, but a developing one with a lot of development aspirations yet to be realized, I think it is absolutely important for us to be able to engineer ways and means to ensure that we, of course, contribute to stability and do not kind of create difficulties in terms of the disaster in waiting, but at the same time, we fulfill our own developmental aspirations. And that's a very complex engineering challenge. That has to be faced only by a country like India or countries like India. I don't think the developed world is going to address this issue. And that is where I think academy's role becomes singularly. I also hear that the driver of economic growth now onwards are the so-called research-led industries. You know, gone are the days when it's simply dependent on manufacturing. Gone are the days when it is simply dependent on, instead of manufacturing products, manufacturing innovation. But I think this whole thing is getting into a framework where the industry itself is getting research-led. In fact, all emerging technologies, if you see, that's a key thing. In India, I think we are yet to sort of embrace that framework. Not many countries have embraced as yet, but the two powerful countries of the world have indeed done so, and that is what is going to define the leading country. And in INAE do well in terms of exploring that possibility. We have all the ingredients to do so. Now, if you want to do that, clearly it cannot be done just by industry. It cannot be done just by academia. And it certainly cannot be done just by the government. Now, all these three agencies have to come together. And all of you are aware of the famous terminology, the triple helix framework. I think the country has to move very fast towards this triple helix framework, where the policy development of the government doesn't lag a new technology development, but moves concurrent with the new development. Industry is normally much faster in recognizing such transitions, but wary of creating investments in absence of the government commitment. So it's not just the policy development of the government should move concurrent, but also government investments should come in, not as a lagging feature, but concurrent. So investment by industry, investment by government, policy making by the government, all the research support that is required to make these things happen between the academia, industry, and also government. And I think we are far away from such a vibrant triple helix framework in our country. We have missed the solid state electronics revolution. We have missed the superconductivity revolution in this country. But now there are a host of new technologies. I think AI ML is only the tip of the iceberg, and there are several other technologies to follow. Change this whole course. I think INAE certainly should be in the forefront, not only in terms of recognizing the technologies, and that we are already doing, but in terms of preparing the nation to be able to be the leader in this very important. The last point I wish to make, we need to recognize, talked about these tipping points. These tipping points happen because we get to know the technology, we become very powerful because we have the technology. But we must recognize that technology can empower, but technology can also exploit. Question is, there are some people who exploit, there are some people who get exploited. So I think another challenge for us is to look at technology in a way, to deploy technology in a way that empowers everybody, but exploits none. Say there is a contradiction there, but we must overcome that contradiction, because otherwise we may be only postponing the tipping points. Someday or the other, the disaster will hit us. I think we need to move towards a world where we keep on developing technology, take the technology domain forward, but do it in a manner where it exploits none, empowers everybody. And that is where we are stable. I think I think there is no other body, no other organization other than academy like INAE which can steer the nation in. Have, I think, great task ahead of us. I know these things are not easy. It's going to take time, but overall, as academicians, we used to seeing the future and shaping the future. Suggest that we think about all these issues and decide how. Thank you so much. Once again, compliments to the entire fellowship, the 30th day. Several challenges that academy itself is facing have been talked about by my predecessors. But as was expressed, I think this is what will make us strong. Academy will emerge stronger, more capable, forward-looking.
Possibility of anybody interacting from the audience. Right?
Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir. Yes. This is so.
Since this is a digital platform without a provision for an interactive session, I would request the audience now or also in the future, those who will watch this program on YouTube, if you wish to write to us, give your constructive suggestion, advice, opinion, please feel free to do that. As one of us said, that we really need to reach out. We really wish to reach out to a much larger pool, even beyond INE, for the cause of engineering. And so any such input from your side is most welcome in the future by email or any other means. Thank you.
It leaves me with the one pleasant duties to offer a vote of thanks. It is my proud privilege to the esteemed gathering who's here, which consists of our presidents and current office bearers, to thank them on behalf of the academy, taken out their valuable time and be here to express their solidarity. We also thank the esteemed fellows, young associates, and our institutional members who for this Foundation Day function to express their solidarity, as well as be part of the INE Delhi chapter and INE Solar Alliance seminar on green hydrogen, which is to follow immediately after this program. I thank Dr. Kakodkar for his well-articulated and extremely relevant thoughts, the relevance of academy and factors which affect how it can affect the society and country as a whole. I also thank our former presidents, Dr. Mesra, and our office bearers, that is Professor Manna, President INE, Professor DESAI, Professor Chakravorti, and Mr. PATIL, for their foresight and ideas regarding future of INE, and I am witness to their commitment and relentless pursuance of the cause of INE. Grateful to each one of you who have been here. I thank you and Jai Hind.